Hey there guys, I am SonicGhost, and welcome to a first impressions of Sonic Origins Plus. Now, when Sonic Origins originally released last year on June 23rd, 2022, I actually did a first impressions of the game and made a whole video on that said subject. So if you want to see my original impressions on Sonic Origins when it first released, you go ahead and check out that video. I will have it linked in the description below. But today we're going to be looking at the new piece of downloadable content for Sonic Origins called Sonic Origins Plus, which was released exactly 1 year after Sonic Origins came out on June 23rd, 2023. So Sonic got 2 releases of Sonic Origins on his birthday, and both times, this is now a new way to play a lot of classic Sonic games. Sonic Origins originally came out with 4 games in the collection, 3 Genesis games, and 1 Sega CD game. This time, however, we now have more games added to the collection, 12 new games in fact. We have a lot more games in this said collection, and these are all Game Gear Sonic games, which haven't seen a full re-release like this specifically since Sonic Adventure DX all the way back on the GameCube. Some of these GameCube games have been released here and there, but this is the first time we have seen all these games in one package in nearly 20 years. Not just that, but Sonic Origins Plus adds 2 new playable characters. We have a playable Knuckles now in Sonic CD. He was playable in every other Sonic game in this collection before, but now he's also playable in Sonic CD. But that's not all. We also have a playable Amy for the first time. And in this video, we'll be playing through every single game that was in the collection originally with these new characters, along with going into the new Game Gear games and seeing how they play and just experiencing a lot of these games either for the first time in many years or just in general for my very first time. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into Sonic Origins Plus. Happy birthday again, Sonic. Well, have a belated birthday because it was the 23rd of June. Here it is, the 27th. A little late to the punch. Hey, it's fine. Belated birthdays are still welcomed in this house. So, we're back to Sonic Origins. Haven't played this game since it released last year. It's been a hot minute. But we have new content in the game with Sonic Origins Plus. So, this version of Sonic Origins, it adds some extra stuff to it. Specifically, you have 2 new playable characters. Amy is now playable in all of the games, and Knuckles is playable in Sonic CD. And we also have 12 Game Gear titles added to this collection. From what I'm reading, a lot of these games, they haven't been re-released since Sonic Adventure DX. So these are all of the Game Gear Sonic games, like Sonic The Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic Triple Trouble, Tails Skypatrol, Sonic Chaos. I can't remember them all off the top of my head. They have been added to this collection now with this DLC, and by doing that, Sega actually changed the price of it. Sonic Origins by itself, when it came out last year, was $40. There was a $5 extra DLC you could buy, which made it the digital deluxe version, and it really didn't add much. It just added some extra borders for the 4x3 games, and then you also got animations in the background. That was it. Whoa. It really wasn't much, so the base game is what most people probably picked up. Now, with the addition of Sonic Origins Plus, now we have a different price. I don't know why I didn't do this in the beginning, but Sonic Origins is now $30 by itself. Origins Plus is $40 if you want to get the whole package in one go. Origins Plus comes with all that extra DLC, and yeah, here's, you make a good point because I almost forgot, the extra hard missions. And then there is also mirror mode in the Origins DLC. You got a decent amount of stuff for $5 extra, but you didn't need it, is really kind of the big thing. And a lot of people did skip it, which I don't blame you. But if you were an early adopter of Sonic Origins, raises their hand on this one. Sega just slapped your hand down and punished you for it, because Sonic Origins Plus, the DLC, if you own the original, costs $10. Does not matter if you bought all the DLC already. So I would have paid $50 for this game if I didn't get it at a discount when it came out. That sucks. Thanks, Sega. I appreciate the ripoff. So, we're gonna get a lot of prompts here saying all the new content has been added. And here it is, surprise. It's one of the extra things. It wasn't there before. So I'm going to probably just play through each game a little bit with the new characters because there's been some level alterations for certain ones. I believe Sonic CD had a lot of its levels changed up for Knuckles specifically, so I'm not sure how that's going to play. I think Amy, for the most part, has everything the same in all the games. I know they've added like a super transformation for her, which is new. So I'm just going to jump straight in, starting with the first game here, Sonic the Hedgehog 1. Game audio a little loud. I can fix that real quick. It's not a big deal. To be fair, also, the games are way quieter, so I'm not surprised. I'll turn it down by 2. So, now in Sonic 1, we can play as Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, but specifically now, Amy is a new one. I'm going to play as Amy. So here she is. She plays pretty much like a Sonic. She has the hammer twirl here, which is kind of like an insta-shield, just more insta-shield that makes sense from Sonic 3. Capitulates her the entire time, which is nice. She has the drop dash, but oh, it's a little different. Drop dash just makes her like slam the hammer. That's a little different. So she should also have a spin dash here, correct? Oh yeah, definitely. And she fast though. This is how she keeps up with Sonic. I really like that like hammer pound animation. Like it looks very crisp. Oh, and the sign here is nice too. So for people in the chat, have you guys picked up Origins Plus and played some of it yourself? I think like the people are here. I think I've seen some gameplay from people on like my Discord server I'm part of. Careful, I want to get one of the Chaos Emeralds. Come on, get up, get up. Just stop falling. There you go, got it. Mostly did Sonic 1 boss rushes, Amy. Okay, and then Matt here has played a lot over the weekend. So I'm guessing if you say you played a lot, have you played all 4 games with the new characters then, Matt? Like, and that also includes Knuckles for Sonic CD in this argument. Yes? Okay. So you already know a lot of the differences that they've added to these characters. Which that's neat. So if I'm like missing something, then you can feel free to like chime in with that. But this is honestly, in my opinion, the biggest selling point about Origins Plus is the playable characters. The Game Gear games are nice and all, but honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of a lot of the Sega, like, Sonic Game Gear games. They're fine. It's just a lot of them I'm not, like, that nostalgic for. I played a lot of those games when I was playing through Sonic Adventure DX growing up, because that's how I was introduced to a lot of the 2D Sonic stuff, is via that game. So, I've played a lot of them. I never really beat any of the Game Gear titles. The Game Gear titles are hard. Like, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat. Those games are rough. So, I'm not surprised I didn't beat any of them as a kid. But yeah, we haven't had a playable Amy in years. Like, I think the last 2D game to have a playable Amy was Sonic Advance 3. I'm trying to remember what the last, like, mainline playable Amy was. It was another game that was a little more recent than Advance 3, but I still can't remember off the top of my head. It's been a very long time, which is the point. So, having a playable Amy again after so long has been a really nice thing to see. And it's unexpected. Like, people have modded Amy into these games for years. So we knew, like, kind of had an idea of how she would play, but never anything official. This is the first official playable Amy in all these 2D Sonics. Which I'm surprised it took this long for a playable Amy. Like, I would think we maybe would have got it with, like, Sonic Mania, but that was not the case. Gotta be careful here, because I can't really take too many more hits. Rings are gonna go everywhere. Yes, in case in point. Now we're gonna have to do the one ring trick. Anyways, I'm one hit away, so that's fine. Easy enough. And that's it. There's the first world done. 06? I think maybe it was before that. I don't know. I have a page up. I could check here in a minute. I have the Origins Plus listing page open for Sonic Retro, which tells me all the differences for this game. And I think it also mentions when the last playable Amy was. So I'm going to see that here. Let's find out. Because I'm done with Sonic 1 at this point. There's nothing very different about Sonic 1, so I don't need to play this for that long. Let's see. Oh, no. First 2D Sonic game since Sonic Boom Fire and Ice, which was in 2016, mind you, to have an incarnation of Amy as a playable character. So technically it's Sonic Boom Fire and Ice on the 3DS. And that game, as I just mentioned, 2016. So yeah, it's been, at this point, that was like 7, 8 years ago. It was like 8 years, about. Dang. Long time. Alright, speaking of Sonic CD, let's play some Sonic CD. Alright, so I can do anything on this one. Let me go to settings here real quick. Nice settings. I forget, it's all... They separate the soundtrack on this one for whatever reason. It was not in the settings menu anymore, I'm used to it. Trying to see what I had set to. Japanese or US? I mean, I'm only gonna play this one for a little bit, so what do you guys want to see? The Japanese soundtrack or the American soundtrack? Doesn't really matter to me. I'm not gonna do what I did last time and play this multiple times. Japanese. They got one for Japanese. Japanese. Okay, we'll stick with Japanese then. I do agree, though. Japanese is, I think, the better of the two soundtracks of CD. I mean, I still like a lot of the tunes that were in this game, but I think it's just Japanese, man. Japanese is just better. So let's start this one with Knuckles, because Knuckles is supposed to be different. I forget this one's loud! No, I can't skip. Please skip. Thank you, my ears. I forget. Game volume down here, cutscene volume up here. You can't even see the meter, it's that loud. Ow, my ears. Why did they do this to me? So Knuckles has some different paths that he can take here in Sonic CD. So that's like the big thing to me. I'm wondering, how did they make that work? I guess we'll find out if we can run into one of those paths. I'm gonna go down here. I actually lost my speed in the air there because I did a glide. It might be hard to time travel, Knuckles, if you do that. You gotta keep in mind his glide is gonna cause problems. What are you looking at? It's me, Nux. I always like going back and forth like that. It just looks so stupid. Alright, there is hologram. Get that out of here. I don't remember all the paths still for those robot generators and also the Metal Sonic holograms. But, yeah, I'm just gonna see what I can do here and there. Man, he gets a lot of speed when he does the slide off of a platform. It's really odd. Alright, we're gonna be careful because up ahead is the ending. And I want some extra rings here just so I can get to the special stage. I want to see how Knuckles looks in 3D for this game. There we go. Made it to a good future. Got into the special stage. I want to see how this looks. I mean, it's going to control the exact same. Every character basically controls the same in all these games. They just have extra attributes. That was a nice whiff. It's fine, I can make up for it. Oh, whipped again. Oh, you gotta love when you're that low. Like, how did I not flip that? And all I got left is the speed capsule. We're gonna do a U-turn here. Speed up a little bit, jump, and there you go. Not bad. This model looked pretty crisp in 3D, I will give it that. Wonder where these alternate paths could be. We might run into one in this stage, I'm not sure. Again, I'm not playing too much of this, so I don't know if we're gonna run into those said paths, but we'll see. Also, I don't know what timelines he said alternate paths could be in. That's like the big thing for CD, for Knuckles, but other than that, it's pretty much the same game, just now you have a worse jump, because out of all the 4 playable characters, Knuckles is gonna have the worst jump. It's very low. But he does play nice, I'll give him that. He pretty much plays the exact same as he does in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which wouldn't have it any other way, because honestly, the Sonic 2 syndrome of having the characters play the exact same is not a thing I ever want to see repeated. Like, having Sonic and Tails be the exact same thing from the original, it doesn't really do much for the other character. It's just, you can play as Blue Sonic or Yellow Sonic. Like, that's what it turns into. So having these different attributes, kind of an important thing, I feel. That's interesting. If you climb up like that, you can actually just go straight into the little automated sequence. How did I not hit that? Yeah, it's fine. Alright, well that's another good future here, so I can at least fight the boss of Palm Tree Panic in good future mode. So, we get some nice scenery change. Instead of dark and depressing, it's gonna be nice and happy. I'm not gonna hit that. Not yet, at least. Going down. This is why I didn't hit the other one, because I can't make it back up. There you go. Renew my timer. I've been hitting like every wall. There we go. I like having invincibility here because this boss is really annoying without it. I never fight this guy without invincibility because, seriously, what are you supposed to do about this? Spikes in front, not comfy. Nice moonwalk out of here. Boss name is supposed to be a jab at the NES? Interesting, I didn't know that. It makes sense for Sega to do something like that because they are very sassy to Nintendo, at least in this age they were. Like, one of my favorite things, actually, from the physical release of Origins Plus is if you take a look at the back of the box on the reversible cover, the barcode says Genesis Does, so it's referring back to that old Genesis Does Nintendo ad. So it's like a nice little thing to see, it's referenced. They like poking fun at things. Oh, why am I getting this cutscene? I might have mashed through it before, I don't remember. I haven't seen this in like about a year. Why not? It's fitting, because now we're going to play as Amy. I really like all these little animations, too. These were done, I believe, by A+ Start, which is a guy on YouTube. He's known for Son of a Glitch. He got hired on to make these little animations, because he's, I think, an animator by trade. Like, this game was, like, a lot of official development, but also kind of like Sonic Mania, a lot of fan development, too, because, like, a lot of fans did work on this game in some fashion. Which I like that. It's always nice to see Sega acknowledge the fan base in that way and give them more opportunities. Because other companies, cough cough Nintendo, don't do that. Okay, so before we continue here, I want to do a level select code. So I'm going to look up how to do that. Let me see. Beyond, yeah, this tab. I'm trying to see where is secrets and debug mode. Oh, it says before plus. I don't know if they changed anything because of that. We'll see. I'm going to try to do a level select here for Sonic CD, although this one's a little bit different, if I can remember correctly. I don't know if I even can. That's the only problem. Because I would like... Actually, I could probably just do time attack, I'm thinking about it. Because I unlocked time attack. It's like, why am I overcomplicating this? I could just do this. So I'm using a completed file, but do I choose the character? Does it just... Nope, it's just Sonic. We don't want Sonic in this house. Alright, let me take a look again. This is also... I'm using the new Steam interface too, which is very different from what I'm used to. So let me see. Here we go. Web browser actually has tabs. Okay, we got Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3. I don't think there was not a level select thing for Sonic CD, was there, for Sonic Origins, just because of the time tack. If that's the case, I may have to just play through the beginning stuff a little bit, which is not a big deal. I'm just kind of confirming here. After what I'm seeing, that is not the case. Okay. Yeah, no codes. Which is unfortunate, because I can play the other levels here in Time Attack, but I can't do that if I want to play any other character besides Sonic, which is kind of weird. Oh, here, hang on. Let me see this link that you put in here, Kira. I'm going to reload the link, because for some reason that website was super zoomed in. Probably the last time I was here. Okay. Player must complete 5 minutes combined special stages during time. Oh, okay. So arbitrary. Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna let me pick a character. That's the only thing. Player must complete 5 minutes combined special stage score in Time Attack. Match we carry over to select the character in time still progress and save. Most recently used before accessing it. Okay. Wait a minute. Wait. It will carry over your character. Why was I Sonic? I was playing as Knuckles. Why? I am confused. It's so loud. Please stop. Okay, I made a file as Amy. It's logged. Now if I go to Time Attack. I keep on hitting X. Why is X at the default prompt on this? I don't understand. Yeah, I'm Sonic. What? We'll save your character. Asterisk. And it has to be in here too, which I also find funny that Sonic Retro is saying you gotta beat 5 minutes combined special stage score. It's like, what special stage? And there's no other buttons I can press on here too, which is really weird, man. Like, Sonic CD is like that one different game because it actually had menus for the original game, and that's what this version is pulling from. But man, you can definitely tell that's causing some issues here. So I guess I will just play as Amy here. Save data found, yeah, it's fine. I'll just start from Palm Tree, it's not a big deal. I was gonna want to play through Collision Chaos real quick, so I want to see what happens to that intro part. I'll just play back up to it. So we speed run now. Nice animation change for breaking out. It's actually pretty cute, because you see the skirt. Can she do... No, she can't charge up. Wow, that's weird. I would think they would have gave her Sonic's, like, peel-out move, just because of Sonic CD and all. But no, she can't do the super peel-out. Oh yeah, right here is where Amy would have been harassing Sonic. I know it doesn't make as much sense, but I would love to have seen Sonic there just being harassed by Amy, and then him just piecing out when you get close. Oh, also, I think, Matt, have you beat Sonic CD with Amy? Because I need to know something. I need to know, but I don't know if you have. I'm gonna just put it that way and wait for a response. There's an achievement for drawing Eggman statues and wacky workbench. Okay, I think I know what achievement you're talking about, because I think I have that achievement. I have all the achievements in this version. And unless they add in new ones for Origins Plus, then yeah, I don't know about that one. But I think it's like all the same achievements. Okay, yep, good. It's confirmation. I was wondering if they did something with the Amy section in Stardust, and it sounds like no, they did not, and that's perfect. Don't touch it. Oh, there's a new one. Okay. So they did add some extra achievements to this version. Well, achievements, quote unquote, they're in-game achievements. They're not actual, like, Steam achievements or anything like that. Because I have all those. So I guess I could see that once I'm back in the menus. I can just look at, like, the museum mode, I guess, and see from there. Wait. I need rings. I'm literally one ring off. I want to go to a special stage with Amy. We must see Amy's special stage. The new achievements are based on that secret menu. Okay, that's where they're at. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. I love her finger waggle backwards like that. Just very cute looking. And they did a good job converting Amy into the Sonic CD format here as well. Like, just in general, converting Amy into a playable thing for all these games. I think it just translated really well. Alright, that was... Oh, come on, how did I not hit? I was gonna say, that's not really the cleanest run, but it's still better than Knuckles, and then I missed, like, about that. It's not better than Knuckles, it's the same as Knuckles. Alright, let's beat up Egghead real quick. And then I'm gonna see how that intro portion of Collision Chaos works, because you're supposed to be kidnapped there. Amy does get kidnapped by Metal Sonic. In Tails' playthrough, nothing happens. I imagine that's gotta be the same here, but I want to know, because if they didn't change the Stardust thing, don't change this one either. That was easy. I worked that sucker to death. Alright, that's done. Now I just want to see this intro cutscene for the next level, because I really hope there's a second Amy. I really do. Hey, Red Guy, how you doing? Yeah, this is the Japanese soundtrack we're playing in the game. Oh, they took her out. Just like with Tails. It's disappointing. To be fair, I kind of expected that. I was just hopeful. I just put it in as a gag. Alright, we'll play through this stage, and I think we're going to swap over to the next game on the list. Look out for Knuckles, too. I'm not surprised. It seems like the Amy thing is just for Sonic's playthrough. Because Sonic's playthrough was the originally designed one, so everyone else had got some cuts. Because it doesn't make sense for their story, because there is no story for everyone else. We're just here. Sonic does all the work. We're just running around because we feel like it. That's the story. Yeah, we can switch between versions. I was debating which one we play, but that we all like decide on Japanese, which is my preferred soundtrack for the game too. There are some songs I like more in the US soundtrack, but most of the tunes are, I think, better from Japanese, at least in my opinion. That's the nice thing, at least. Music's subjective, and you have an option. Based on Christian Whitehead version, I'm glad they gave you the option. See design only Sonic. Does Sonic have the I'm out of here? I think... Yeah, I think only Sonic does have that. I'm not 100% sure about everyone else. Yeah, I could wait 3 minutes. Unfortunately, every time I tab out of the game, that's gonna happen. I don't think I wanna. That's gonna be a long 3 minutes. I'm gonna see something here real quick. Okay, nothing shows up when I search for that in this Origins Plus list. I think Sonic only has that. Which makes sense as well. Again, everything about this game was originally made for Sonic. So, because of that, those extra animations I wouldn't expect any other characters to have. Emulation removes 3 memory rate. Oh yeah, that's true. I think it's, I don't remember how long it is, but I think they changed some stuff about that too. Alright, either way, that's gonna be it for CD for now. Let's move on to Sonic 2. I forgot last time I was playing this a little bit with the Knuckles Tails combination. That was probably from our stream of this last year. Because when I played through this whole game and got all the actual achievements and just everything unlocked, I played through this, like, campaign mode or story mode. I didn't play through the games of just normal like this. Oh, that's a big character select screen now. That is like 7 different options. And they really want to give you options because of Tails. How about we'll play with Amy and Tails? Give Tails some love here. Because I can still fly with you, right? Please get over here. I can't fly if you're nowhere near me. Thank you. Yeah, you can still do the flying thing with Tails. It's just a little bit harder for whatever reason. I don't know why, man. You feel just much faster than me. I guess that makes sense. Amy isn't really that fast compared to everyone else. Let me get some of these extra rings. I'm gonna do one of the special stages at least with Amy here. I don't know if we're gonna be doing that many. It depends on how many rings I can hold on to. Alright, there we go. Special stage 1. Amy really does just look like a pink Sonic in this one because of Tails. Like, I can barely see Amy. It would have been better if I just played with Amy so you can actually see her sprites better. Oh, they got a pink background there too, so just like all the other characters, they have unique colored, like emerald backgrounds. Yeah, this special stage is really not that hard, so this is going to be an easy W. Yeah, these half-pipe special stages are way better than the original Genesis Sonic 2. It's the draw distance. The original had so much, like, hop-in happen. The draw distance in the original was bad. You couldn't see the rings until right in front of your face. It was that bad. So, the Christian Whitehead build of this, which is what this is based off of, is so much easier. Like, the hardest special stage in the game, still definitely really hard, but it's way more doable now than it used to be with the original Genesis release. Like, nowadays, I can get the Chaos Emeralds pretty comfortably in Sonic 2, compared to in the original, where I had to play it on emulator with save states, because I would constantly fail, and I would just reload the save as pretty much like a restart option. That's mainly how you always use like save states in retro games. I use it more as like a checkpoint than anything else. I don't like abusing them. That's just me. I do not want to fall that far, but sure. Give me shield. There's a checkpoint up above. I can just grab that. Also, now thinking about why am I flying through this normally? I can do level select. Completely forgot to do level select. I also didn't mean to back out the entire game. I wanted to go to title screen. So let me pull up that listing again that I had earlier. So I can do level select here. I don't know if this is going to be a little bit different because of Origins Plus stuff, but it probably should be fine. Alright, now let me just try and remember how to do this in the anniversary mode. I might not be able to here. Okay, this is it. Maybe I also, hang on, let me back out entirely. Yeah, no, continue, it's fine. I can't remember if I do it there or if I do it on the actual title without pressing a button. So I'm gonna go back to the title screen. Alright, so up, down, left, right. Yeah, okay, there you go, it worked. So they didn't change that. Now, for the next part. Unlock debug mode. My problem is every time I do this, I gotta open up an overlay. Which is taking me out of it. I think I hit that twice. We'll find out. Alright, nope, I did. Good. So we just unlocked debug mode. And also from here, I'm gonna do super mode as well. Okay, I didn't hear a jingle. Let me try it again. To be fair, it doesn't matter if I get this unlocked, because I have debug. There you go. And now for my final thing. This. Now I can change my character. Go to Amy. This is for the multiplayer stuff, I believe. Oh, that's right. You have to do this to turn the air cap off because the air cap breaks things in this, if I'm not mistaken. I actually forgot about that. Like, oh no, it's not. I am very sleep deprived, I can tell. Air cap is off, but you can turn it on if it's too broken for you. Alright, I got it all configured. Now we can go. Let's do a different stage. I've played Emerald too many times in my life. Let's go straight to Chemical Plant. And now let's remember, how do I... That is Sonic! I selected Tails and Amy. Why am I Sonic the Hedgehog? Oh, and I gotta put the stupid code back in. It probably didn't save, did it? Because I went back in, which means now I gotta do that debug crap again. This is why I'm leaving that page open. There you go. And now let me just do the super code just as a redundant thing. Making sure that character selection is set. I'm glad I checked it again. That's what happened. I just selected Sonic Tails without paying attention. Love select has been added to tutorials. Okay, that's new then. I don't remember that, so thanks for the heads up for next time. Alright, no, I'll just do it normally. Alright, so now, should be, yeah, there we go. Super Amy! Definitely a thing I wasn't expecting to see in my life. But here it is. Official Super Amy. So this has been a thing for ROM hacks for years. As I mentioned before, this is our first canonical Super Amy in a classic game like this. Actually, is this just our first? No, this is our first Super Amy, period. Because in every other game, there's been super transformations and Amy's been playable. She's never had a super form. Or like been paired with a super formed character. So this is a first for the Sonic series. I had to really think about that for a second. It's like, well, the two games that she was playable in, there were super characters. She was not in that, say, like, super final boss fight. So I had to really think about that. Yeah, only glows. Yeah, but it's still like Super Amy more or less just means you get like those attribute changes. So she doesn't look really that different, but she definitely feels different. Excuse me, Tails. I'm just gonna quickly cheat here again. Yeah, you can go ahead. That's fine. I'm just cheating. Don't mind me. Dude, I didn't mean to miss, but that's fine. I'll take the lower path now. You do get extra jump height, which is like the big thing about the super characters I like the most in these games, is just the extra jump height makes it so much easier to platform. You can skip certain platform sections like That rotating saucer one, for example. So that's a big deal. Not really worried about ring count because I could just cheat more in if I need it. Because I'm really just playing this to get the feel of the character, and then just to see some of the different sprites and all that. Because it's essentially the same game, just now with a different skin, essentially, with some added attributes for the character. Other than that, it's pretty much the same gameplay as you're used to. Wow, that's like white hair underwater. Because it's pink water and Amy's pink. That just, yeah, it wouldn't work. Make it more like a white color here. Stands out a little bit better. More than enough speed to just skip all that. Run right to the end. Do not stand over on that side, I will die. Okay, that was close. Tails almost screwed me, but then he saved me. Thank you, Tails, for... Wait, why am I thanking you? You almost killed me. Just call it even. Yeah, you can grind coins in Digimon mode. That, I believe, was like the method everyone told you to do when the game first came out. I think it's still the definitive way to get the coins if you want everything and using them fast. I just got the coins natively because by the time I unlocked everything in the museum, I pretty much had the whole game beaten, so I had a surplus of these things. And just, you really don't need to grind them, if you want to be honest, but if you want the stuff faster, it does help. Alright, one more game to look at here, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles. Or at least one more game to look at for these said characters, because we still have 12 other video games that are added into the collection. Alright, now for Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, we are going to do the same thing as before. We are going to look up the cheat code. Up, up, down, down, up, 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 up. Done. Sound test, here it is. And now we can change our character and go wherever we want. So, let me see here. Before we do anything else, lock super mode for a character, debug, hyper mode. Okay, so I think what we can do is I'm gonna lock super mode first, play through a level with super mode, and then the next level we'll do hyper mode. Then we'll look at both attributes. And it's the same code. What? Okay, that nice D-pad right. PlayStation D-pad. Very easy to hit down while going right for whatever reason. All right, there you go. That's super unlocked. Now for debug. Same as Sonic 2. Except they have to restart the song when you hit the button now, which makes it much easier to put in the code. Oh no, it's actually not the same. Like the ending's different. There you go. Okay, so now, how do I change the characters again? Okay, it's that button to take on and off Tails. That starts a thing. Well, I'm going to Endless Mine now. Never mind. Doesn't count. Alright, those codes should all still be active. We'll find out at least. I'm trying to remember what the button was that changed. Stupid character. Okay, so default X and Y on Xbox, a button to find. I don't know. Okay. Okay, there we go. We got it. And I can have Tails for me still. Okay, so let's see. We're not gonna do any of these because these are all multiplayer stages. Let's see. No, let me do Ice Cap because of the snowboarding section in the beginning. I want to see if Amy does it. Nope, she just gets shot into the wall. Classic. Okay, it looks like debug is off, so I'm gonna have to reset that, which means my super code's off too. Oh, crap. I gotta put in the code again. These games really don't like saving your codes. Did I miss a thing? That didn't do the sound effect. Let me try it again. Oh, crap. Well, it definitely won't work now when I hit the wrong stupid song. Alright, let me just restart it. These codes, man, they take forever to enter. Don't miss this. I missed cheat codes, I just don't miss, like, the awkward way you had to activate them. There you go, okay. And now the super code was 4126. There you go, now we got super. Let's go back to Ice Cap. Yeah, this is the beta songs, because apparently the songs that they could import over, which we now know were actually Michael Jackson songs, there's just copyright problems with that, and I can understand why they just opted to not deal with it, just because of, like, legal stuff. It makes, okay. That, yep, yep, I forgot the debug button using that definitely was an experience. I don't know if I get those now. Okay, the one thing I never liked about the debug menu codes is the stupid anti-grav flip, because it just, yeah, this happens very easily. What was the flip button again? Just want to not be upside down. There you go. All it took was putting on that spring for whatever reason. Because I swear, I hit the flip button how many times? And the game said, no, you didn't. Ah, whatever. You gotta figure it out. These down. No, not again. Why? For whatever reason, me putting these down is what the game just gives up on. Like, hardcore gives up. What is happening? Go back to safety spring. Ah, safety spring. You're my only savior in life. I don't know why it won't. I also can't transform. Oh, I definitely transformed alright. Alright, here we go. Something definitely happened. Alright, sure. To be fair, I'm also playing with a different controller config than I'm used to playing because my controller is acting weird on PC. So I think some of my buttons are mapped weird too. Yeah, I definitely tried both of those buttons and both were rejecting me for whatever reason. I think I also know why that could be happening. I might want to change that after this level. I have another program running in the background that might be conflicting with my controller buttons. Because right now, this game is recognizing this as a PlayStation controller, which I normally don't do, but the third-party program I usually use to control this thing is not working correctly right now. It's probably an update issue. And you get some serious airtime with the super forms. That's my favorite part about this. Every time. Good for skipping a bunch of sections. Yeah, I should probably do one of these. I have more than enough rings I could transform again. Are we getting a jackpot? Really? Wow. Well, I'm rich. Yeah, I did. We're never gonna win again. Get out before you lose all your money. When you win big at Vegas, you'll leave. Oh, not again. Why is it always clipping me, specifically? Because it is supposed to be triangle. You're right on that, Kira. It's just sometimes it doesn't work. And I don't know why. Like, it literally is not working. I have no idea why. I'm looking at that program now, because something tells me it's not working with the key button correctly because of an extra program running in the background. Yep, I was right. As soon as I close DS4 Windows, it works. Wow. Okay, so my triangle button was probably being overwritten as something completely different. Like, I knew that was not the game, because I've never experienced that in this game before. Oops, missed. That's fine. Okay, maybe it's not fine. Why? Yeah, I love when you clip through objects. The classic of Sonic. Is there any Sonic game you just don't clip in things? It's really hard to answer that question because it's a lot of them that happens in. Like almost every game you can think of, yeah, there's probably a moment where you just face to the floor. This boss is a joke with the super form because you can just go straight through all its projectiles and instantly hit it, so. Oops. There you go. That's Act 1. I think we'll just go straight to a different level from here. We're not going to play Act 2 of Ice Cap, because I want to see Hyper Amy next. Which does mean I think I got to put in the cheat code again, don't I? Yeah. It's unfortunate. Every time you got to put in cheat codes. If I go to a different level, say Flying Battery 2. Now if I do debug stuff, yeah, it doesn't work. I gotta put in all that again, too. This is why I have the page saved. Alright, there you go. Now, how do we do Hyper Mode? 4126, but you do that code twice. So that's Super unlocked. And that's Hyper unlocked. Okay, so now we should have Hyper Amy. So let's see. You know what, I selected already? Let's do Flying Battery 2. Excuse me, Chaels. I'm just cheating. Don't mind me. Wait, what? She throws hammers? Oh, this is gonna be weird with debug, though, because I just do this. Okay. Didn't know she had an ability with that. I'm gonna have to turn off debug. There's no way that's gonna work. So that's a really cool ability. Just don't do it while cheating, because it's weird. Alright, we're going back, but now we'll have to get Super Amy or Hyper Amy legitimately. I can't cheat it in. Well, kind of, I already did, but now I can't cheat the forms activation. Getting 50 rings won't be that hard, though. You can get rings pretty fast. And also having a shield like this is gonna help, too. Dude, just go in the side panel. There we go. Flying hammers of death. That's a good way to put it. Alright, there we go. And I should still have my shield, so I'm gonna suck in a lot of rings. I'm gonna be careful here, though. This section kinda sucks when going fast. Nice hit. I was actually really lucky. I'm not wanting that fire shield. Electric shield's better right now. Oh. Okay, maybe I take that fire shield after all. Because I'm... Oh no, I didn't have to check my, never mind. I was like, because I'm not gonna start back in the beginning, right? Yeah, you are. Super and hyper forms may be the be-all, end-all solution to fighting things. Still can get crushed by that very simple platform. So, they ain't perfect. Eggman just needs more crushing things around, and boom. Easy victory. Oh, my shield. Now, definitely will take that fire shield. Dude! I just want my super. don't trust you. At least with the fire shield, I don't have to worry about the fire hazards now. I don't know if I can get any rings from this one. That wasn't that many rings to go into a higher bonus game. I would have preferred the jackpot one, but not really the case here. Because these are all predetermined, depending on your ring number. I just can't remember them all off the top of my head, like what rings get you to what bonuses. Well, at least I got 52, so I'm good to transform. That's all I'm really looking for. It's just 50. I can do this. I could hit them with the hammer, or I can also just plow into their face with my invincible body. Either or are effective. Oh, and you could spam throw these too. Jeez. Seems like there'd be no limit here. She throws them slower though when you're not moving, I'm noticing. Ladies first, Tails. Yeah, she throws these way faster when you're not standing still. It's insane on the speed difference. I'm gonna need some extra rings though, because I don't have that many. Oh, I can just cheese this. I don't even need to jump. I don't think I'll have enough time to get to the boss, so keeping my super form. That's my problem. But all the rings on the way, though, just in case. So I can't turn this off. You know what? Tails. Tails. I was like, do not abandon me. I said, do not abandon me. That actually proves the idea. If you get up to the top of the area, it doesn't really do anything for you. There's no fight trigger up there. It's the platform that's the trigger, I guess. Hello. Wait a minute. I'm gonna lose the super form. Chuck hammers. Yeah, that's right. Get destroyed. Now that's a good use of the hammers. If there's something above or below you just can't reach, just chuck them with the hammers. That's really convenient. 5 rings to spare, too. Didn't add any new missions for Amy or Knuckles? Interesting. So it seems like they didn't really do much with the mission mode then, if that's the case. I guess I'm not really too surprised about. Alright, that's Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but before we continue on though, Blue Sphere. I'm gonna play the new mode though, specifically. I can select my character here, and I can change the code. Hang on, actually, can I change my? No, you can't change your character in this. That's right. Never mind. Abort. If I wanted to play Amy in that, I had to play it from the main campaign because I think that's just Sonic. I'm just gonna skip it for now. So let's just look at the new stuff here. Surprise, which I almost got them all already. And it makes a birthday cake for Sonic, which I can't really speed this up. Play 1 Game Gear title. Plays Aim, Destroy Metal Sonic Hologram, Sonic CD. Oh, I skipped it. That's why I didn't get that panel. Clear special stage. Sonic 3 Knuckles is Amy. Plays Amy and Knuckles and Destroy it. Wow, that one is so far in. Like, think about all of these. You play 1 Game Gear title. That's easy. Jump with the hammer spin. Clear a boss. Save the future. Go to Wacky Workbench, specifically with Amy or Knuckles, and destroy a statue. Why is that one, like, so out of your way? That is insane. The rest of these, pretty simple. So that's, like, 8 extra... No, not even 8, right? Hang on. 10 extra achievements that you can get in this game, which makes a picture, which is neat. Before we do Game Gear stuff, I do want to just check. Yeah, Museum still has everything. The museum is the same. They didn't add anything extra. Did they fix some of the song names for this? Because from what I'm understanding, the original release, the song names were somewhat incorrect. Like, there were just certain ones that just got wrong. I don't know if they fixed that over time with updates. I would hope they have, because that's not good. But they didn't add any extra stuff from Museum from what I can see here. Everything is still the same as it was when the game first came out. And the premium content's all extra stuff you got with the extra premium, like, digital deluxe DLC at the time. Now it's just included with Sonic Origins Plus. Yeah, during the summer, Knuckles Chaos. Yeah, that was supposed to be... I don't remember what that was originally called in this, but it ain't that. It's wrong. I don't even know which number that would have been in this, but yeah, like, the song I remember was not correct. There was a lot of them that were incorrectly labeled. Which, to be fair, that's an easy thing to fix. You just have to go back into the game and just change names. Alright, well, at this point, we got Game Gear titles. We got 12 of these in total for this collection. Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic Chaos, Sonic Drift, Drift 2-player, counting that as one game, Sonic Spinball, Sonic Triple Trouble, Sonic Drift 2, again, Tails Skypatrol, Tails Adventure, Sonic Labyrinth, Sonic Blast, Dr. Robotnik from Mean Bean Machine, 2-player. That's it. Okay, so there are your 12 games, and the 2-player games have been broken up into a 2-player extra. So I'm guessing, because these are all emulated, so I'm guessing for the emulator's sake, they couldn't get 2-player to work in that specific game ROM file, so they had to like break up in like 2, something like that. I've heard of something like this happening before with emulators, where certain functions can't go in like one emulator at once. I gotta like split it up into multiple files to get to work, which makes sense. So I left the controls here. These are very simple. You literally just have what, it's like 2 buttons at the time. Game Gear is very limited, but we got move, we can jump. Got the pause button being on triangle or Y. That's interesting. They remember they got a select button, right? Oh god, the Bit Crunch. I forgot how terrible Sega sounded on Bit Crunch. Yikes. Oh, and then I'm back into this, which, yeah, that's... Press start button definitely didn't do what it wanted me to. They have 2 starts. Start for the game, and then start for the actual collection. Not really that foreign to. This sounds weird in my ears. It sounds like it's a mono mix, just like split together into the same track. It just sounds like I'm hearing it in multiple directions, multiple times. That makes sense. It's also very loud in my ears. I have no idea if that's the same case on the stream, but this feels much louder than the other games were in this collection. But the classic jank here for Sonic 1 on Game Gear. This is a very janky game. Like, it is aged pretty poorly in a lot of ways. For example, that's your checkpoint. An item box is your checkpoint. It's weird, man. I've never beaten any of these Genesis games. They're all really difficult, in my opinion. Yeah, see, that's what happens with your rings in this one. When you take a hit, they all disappear in one clump, so it's hard to get them back. I'm trying to see if I can get more rings. I'm trying to see... Oh, yeah, you can do save states in this, too. That's right. I was trying to see if I can get a special stage. Ah, the ear-bleeding Sega. Please stop. Almost feels like there's some input delay with this, too. It could have just been that moment, because this game has some bad slowdown. This was originally a Master System title, but then they converted it into a Game Gear game. So, screen crunch galore. Like, this game is really bad with it, but all the Game Gear Sonic games had that problem, to be fair. If you're gonna play these, you were better off playing the Master System versions, but they're not easy to get, especially now because you mainly played them on a Wii via the Virtual Console service. Guess what's shut down? Oh, that's some bad audio. My favorite song is the one that sounds like a kid on a sugar rush. I forgot how bad the speed up music is. It's a little much. Went a little much on that one. I'll turn this down my own ears. This is very loud. Yeah, I don't understand that either, Kira. They do pretend that the Master System versions aren't a thing anymore. So stupid. Like, they are the better version, so why? Acknowledge them. Sega, please. I can't remember what that even said. It almost looked like it said cost. I get 99 exact. Are you serious? I'm gonna turn this down probably like 2 more decibels for you guys too, because this is loud, man. I don't know why it's so loud. Oh, Kant. That's my favorite abbreviation. Definitely won't be twisted in any way. Like at all. Also in this one, if I remember correctly, I'm not gonna play too much more of this. Man, look at that flicker effect of the shield. It just ain't great. It really ain't. There are hidden passages like this for life, but I don't know if I can do this now. There's another passage I was supposed to take, but I might have missed it. If I did, I could just die. I did just get a life after all. Dude, the springs are so weird to hit. Don't hit that. I actually can't hit that spike. That's actually interesting. Yeah, I think I missed it. Let me just take a death. Nice life counter. Can't see it. Oh, I did it again. It's supposed to stay up there. To be fair, the momentum in this game is really weird. It takes some time to get used to. It really does. I'm not gonna take the shield in case I make this mistake again. Man, where is it? Unless, wait, I might have missed it before. There's a Chaos Emerald. I'm just gonna say it now, because I might not be able to get it. You get Chaos Emeralds just on the field in this one. No special stages for a Chaos Emerald, you just find them. Which is one of the few games that happens in... Can't remember if the other Game Gear games did that too. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, because again, I have never beaten any of the Sonic Game Gear games. I have played them, definitely haven't beaten them. Because I believe it's over there. Sonic 1 and 2. Okay, so 2 of them do it. Alright, let's go back. But since I am playing these games via this collection, I can change those backgrounds, so we can now do a different one. Of any kind. We get some extra ones now because of Origins Plus, I think, right? No, I don't think we do. Now thinking about it, it's like, they didn't give you anything extra on the borders. Let's do Genesis Blueprint. That's a nice one. Alright, next game, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And last time we did the... Ah! Why was that so loud? Ow! Game volume down here. Sega, oh, way up here. Like, way off the meter. My God. So I should mention, all these Game Gear games are emulated. They are not like the other games where they are ports. And you can see that in some areas. Mainly the audio. Yeah, taking Sega Scream the new level in general. I know. Oh my god. I'm turning this down there too. I need a minute. My ears, they need to recover. For me, that was louder than what you guys hear, because I hear this audio differently. My levels are completely different from streams. That was a mistake. Can I beat the first boss? Yeah, I can. First boss in this game isn't that bad if you're on the Master System version, but this version sucks. I'm turning this down more in my own ears because I'm afraid of more screamers. But why, though? Yeah, this audio sounds very weird, man. It's just, I've never played these games with headphones before. Maybe that's why I'm thinking the audio sounds weird. Because I've always played these on a TV via, like, the Sonic Adventure DX collection. Ah, crap. So because of that, I've always had speakers when playing this, and that's why the audio would sound different to me. So I wouldn't notice, like, the mono, like, doubling effect that they're doing here. Something off audio-wise? Okay. You know what? I have an idea of how we can check that. I can just load up my Sonic Adventure DX file that we did a couple years ago for that 100% stream via the DX mod, and we can check that after we're all done here, because I am curious. Maybe it's like a placebo, maybe there is something wrong. Check manual from title. I'll check it probably here after we beat the boss then, because I'll have to reset it anyways. I'll just go back to the title first. I've heard a lot of problems with this emulator for the Game Gear games, excuse me. So, if there are audio bugs with this, I wouldn't be surprised, because there has been some long laundry list of complaints regarding the Game Gear stuff. I also kind of wish that this would fill out the screen a little bit better, and I don't mean the game, I mean the borders. Because the Game Gear screen wasn't a proper 4:3, I think it was like a slightly more crunched in 4:3 aspect ratio, something like that. Not as small as Game Boy, but not as wide as a CRT television was back in the day. If that makes sense. I don't know why they don't have borders that can take up more of the screen. That's just kind of like a weird thing to me. Oh no, I'm gonna die! Ah, thanks, Eggman. Eggman, the homie. Nice, I just want to move one step over, but the momentum in this game is like 0 to 100. This boss, man, it sucks on this version specifically because of the screen crunch. And also the momentum, it's all over the place. And you have no rings, no checkpoints, so you gotta go over to the boss every time like this. And that spring is so hard to make for whatever reason, too. It's also the screen crunch, that just doesn't help. I'm gonna say that a lot. No spin dash in this version, mind you. Even though it's Sonic the Hedgehog 2, it's not the Genesis one, so no spin dash. That wasn't until, I think, Triple Trouble for the Game Gear games. Alright, so just for the sake, so I don't have to do this every time when he drops me, I'm just gonna make a quick save state here. Shouldn't really need it, though. This is all you do. You just wait for these balls, jump over them, and then they hit this little, what is it, crab thing? Sometimes you can walk over these balls. This one I'm just gonna walk under. Okay, that was unfortunate, because I slid way too much. Like, the first two, they bounce a lot faster, so you jump over these, and then the other ones you can just walk under. Oh, but again, the momentum is 0 to 100 because of this, like, giant slope. Trap bitch. Yeah, this is pretty much the trap bitch of Sonic. The antlion, yeah, that, I think it is technically what the creature's called. Okay. Like, species-wise, I think that is like an ant trap. Or ant trap. Ant lion. It's a trap for something. Trap for me, Sonic. I'm gonna stand here. This is the safe zone. Okay, it was the safe zone. The problem with this boss, this is a great omen, by the way, for your video game. When your first boss fight is this stupidly hard. Great omen, because the rest of the game is just like this. Like, this is one of the hardest 2D Sonics. Just flat out. They make this game really punishing for whatever reason. It's a handheld Sonic game that you can't save in. And yet they made it this ball-bustingly hard. Don't know why, they just did. Like, it's really stupid. This boss fight is not bad if you're playing on the Master System version, by the way. Master System is a much better way of playing this. I will say that pretty much about almost all these games, because a good chunk of them are on the Master System. Not all of them. Oh, I forgot Eggman also just like zooms in, so the final hit, you have to be ready to jump over him, because that just happens out of nowhere. I mean, on this version it's out of nowhere, because on Master System you see him coming. But this ain't Master System. This is Game Gear. The version made for ants. I'm beating him to prove a point. By the way, I would have gamed over by now. That's why we made that save state. That way I don't have to play everything all over again. If that was the case, we wouldn't be doing this. At least they give you a save state in this. It is nice. It's only one, though, so, you know, use it with caution on that. But it helps because it's a proper save now that you can use. Dude, I also keep on forgetting the spacing because it's different for whatever reason. The first one hits you in a different spot compared to the second long throw one. I almost wanted to say long throb, and that's definitely an out of context quote if you ever thought of one. A long throb. Don't ask. Actually, I'm just gonna like stand here. This is safer. For a minute. Because Lob 1 is vastly different from Lob 2. Alright, well that one bounces where I can stand. Yeah, see, we're good now. Alright, we're good. The next one I jump. And then I have Eggman also coming in, so get a little closer to him. Like that. I also don't understand that. He doesn't have a hitbox to bounce off of, so you directly hit him. It's also like great omen, by the way. Can't wait for the harder parts. You tell me this is the easy part of the video game. Many 6-year-olds asked for a different game when they got to this part back in the day. Hey Ethan, how you doing? Oh! I just want to get through this so we can move on to the next game. Because I'm now just doing this to prove a point. That it is possible, just... Game Gear Sonic 2 is, a little much. Master System Sonic 2, a little more forgiving. Still ball-bustingly hard, though. Alright, pay attention this time where that thing bounces, because I keep on missing ever so slightly. Yeah, there you go. Stand here. Safe zone. Alright, get ready. It's Eggman's final hit. That's always just the problem. Not the ball. Eggman. See? Eggman, you're the problem here. As soon as I dodge you, we're fine. No. Get me out. No. Every time. I'm glad I turned that down, but that still hurts my ears. So from here... How do you even check manual on this? Actually, you know what? It doesn't matter. I want to get a move on at this point. Let's play some Sonic Drift. Oh, I see how it is. Last game is guy screaming into a microphone so loud he makes you deaf. So that way, you can't question why there's a Sega in the next game, because you won't be able to hear anything. Like, I get it. I like green. You know what? Let's be Eggman. Because he has the most unique cart in the game. Because he doesn't have a cart. He's just in his saucer. Hey, yosh. So this is Sonic Drift. It's essentially like a lot of the racing games from back in the NES days. Like the first one I think of is Ridge Racer. Like on the NES. I think it was Ridge Racer. I don't remember the one I grew up with. I think it was that one. But it also has power-ups like Mario Kart. This is pretty much all the game is. It's a racing game. You race against computers, or if you have the link cable and someone else owned the game on the Game Gear, you can play 2-player. We won't be playing 2-player on this because you need 2 people to play it locally in the collection. And it's just the same thing as a single player anyway, so I'm not going to bother. So I did Mario Kart before Mario Kart? No, I think Kira was right. I think this came after. I think it, yeah, maybe like a 2-year gap. This is gonna be the shortest game we play too. That and Sonic Drift 2. Because both games, they play the same. I did not mean to go back. I meant to go back to catalog. They're gonna be basically the same. You know what? Actually gonna skip ahead and go right to Sonic Drift 2 just for that reason. The big difference on this one is more characters and now new tracks. But it plays basically the exact same. Okay, Super Mario Kart was in 92. So yeah, this came after. Sonic Drift 1 was 94, this is 95. So these were after. No more options on this anyways. Normal, enemy, and... So I can make it easier or harder from here. Or normal and hard, don't even have easy. Enemy on and off. So I guess you just turn off computers if you didn't care. Purple, white, or blue. No, I like purple. And so here are our characters. So Sonic, Tails, Amy, Eggman, M Sonic, and Fang. Fang doesn't really exist anymore, so I'm gonna play as Fang. We got Sonic, Knuckles, and Amy as our competitors. Yeah, this is just basically Sonic Drift again, just updated. I think this is supposed to be the better one, though, out of the two. I really have not played much of the Sonic Drift games. There's honestly not much of a reason to go back to the Sonic Drift games by today's standards. I mean, they're fine enough games, don't get me wrong. It's just that they're old. Like, you can feel the age, dude. Going back to any of these older kart racers, you really do start feeling those aged mechanics. And trying to play them by today's standards, yeah, you're not gonna have a good time. Or at least in the same way you would say, like, play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on Switch. Hang on, how do I use the powers on this one? So I break. Give a free run. There's a button combo for that? Okay, well, I don't see how to use a power-up. That's interesting. Let's see. Oh, here we go. This is up on the D-pad. That did not help me at all. It only hindered me. Yeah, be careful with your drift here, too, because you can easily spin out. I don't think I'm winning this one this way. I'm gonna have to really push ahead and stay ahead of everyone else. Amy's not that far off, so maybe I can make up for my distance gap. Excuse me, Knuckles! Knuckles, no! Excuse me, Amy, coming through! Amy, how are you so fast? Oh, you have to throw the rock. Oh, come on, now Sonic runs me over. I feel there's a definite bias towards Fang. Is it because I don't exist? Probably because of that. No, palm tree. Oh, sign. Well, at least I didn't come in last. He's the Waluigi. Eh, possibly. Fang Superstars. Yeah, you're right. He is coming back in that. Alright, guy, I'm gonna say watch what you're saying, because that's not kind at all. We don't really appreciate that kind of language here. That's your warning. I'm not trying to play these games good or anything. I'm just playing them to show them off. Alright, next up, after we did Sonic Drift 1, Sonic Chaos. Every time! Why? God. Going down, turn that volume more down, because oh my god. The rest of the games are fine, it's just those Sega logos. They need to put a limiter on there or something, man. Because he is screaming that Sega. This is yet another one of those games that were on the Master System, so screen crunch galore, but it's not as bad as the Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 Master System conversions. Like this, it's a lot more playable. I don't know why those other games were so zoomed in comparison. I also forgot for whatever reason you get this. It's like rocket shoe power. It is really random, but we'll take it. Except when you hit an enemy like that in the sky, it just pacebreaker. You have Super Peel on this. That's nice. So if you prefer that instead of a Spin Dash, it is here. I usually just like Spin Dash because Super Peel outs are usually not as fast or even as safe to use as the Spin Dash in Sonic games. So that's just my preference, but it's good to have it. I don't know why it just disappeared. Doesn't hurt to have it in the games, it's an extra option. It just kind of stopped being the option. Nice fall off. I want to stay on here so I can jump. A little hard to see where I'm going though. I remember playing a decent amount of this game though growing up. I like Sonic Chaos, like in its core mechanics and level design. I think it's pretty fun. I just never got past, I think, the second world. Now thinking about it. I want to get to it just to see if I can remember what it is, because if I'm remembering, it should be a train area or something like that. I might be thinking of Triple Trouble. I know there's like a train-styled like zone in one of these so say Master System games. Not far off. Game Gear games. Triple Trouble? If that's the case, I played a lot more Triple, if that's what I'm thinking of. I know I played a decent amount of this, too. Just Triple I'm remembering more about, if that's the case. Surprisingly. Oh, I'm sorry. I got hit by the thing that's like this much in view. my hand. It's like you get 1 pixel wide enemy. Thanks. Should probably not hug the screen that close. I forget that I'm just up here with our hitbox, not just visually. Get a ring. At least a ring. Didn't want to fall, but you know what? We're down here now. Fine. Get more rings. Now stay over here. Screen crunch is my enemy. The Motobug. Can't jump. Just spin dash. And that's that. Can't find Ringo from Boyle Tetris saying Sega and Tetris an individual video? That's interesting. You would think something like that would just be, at least at this point, uploaded on YouTube or something. Because Puyo Puyo Tetris is a pretty old game by today's standards. And I think a lot of the assets at that point has been ripped out. Now, ready to drifts. Sonic Spinball. You know what's super ironic about this one, and also Mean Bean Machine? We didn't get those games in this collection until now, but we got the inferior versions. Why? Why are we playing these versions, not the Genesis ones, Sega? I am confused. Like, this feels really random. I'm saying right now, if you're gonna play either Sonic Spinball or Mean Bean Machine, play the Genesis versions, not the Game Gear ones. Like, there's nothing wrong with these versions. It's just that the Genesis one's better. Just don't have the terrible menu music here, at least. Music on or off, in case you just didn't want to listen to your video game today. You have that option. The intro is also very different looking here. Like, they did their best converting this to an 8-bit format. I think it works fine. Like, I've seen worse conversions from a Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis game down to like an NES-styled image like this. So, I'll give them credit where credit's due. This does convert over pretty nicely. And the screen crunch isn't all that bad either. The problem with this version, though, is the frame rate. It be Chug City. It's bad. It's really bad. Like, this game, what was it, 60 frames on Genesis? Here it feels like 15. I don't know why it's so choppy. I really don't understand what happened when converting the game to this. Because it's simple looking. You don't have the barrel down there to save you either. You just instantly die. Which, that's not ideal. So it is harder on that front, too. It's like they remove some things that saved Sonic in some levels. I haven't played all of this, to be fair, so I don't know all the changes to this version of the game. So I can't say how later levels are. I just know at least this level because I played some of this back in the day on Sonic Adventure DX. And I immediately said, why am I playing this version? And went back to the Mega Collection version. Because the Genesis one is just so much better, man. Why is this the version we got on this collection and not the Genesis ones? Beyond me. This game's music also is way quieter than the sound effects. Like, the sound effects are super quiet. Oh, not super, super loud, excuse me. But the sound effects are 10 decibels, or music, I can't think right now. I really can't. The sound effects are like 10 decibels louder than the music for whatever reason. I don't understand why. It seemed like a weird balancing audio thing from this version of the game back in the day. To be fair, you're probably not playing this with headphones, and you're just playing with a little speaker on your system, so you really just want to hear more of the sound effects and the music based on that. So, you know, it's fine from how you played it back then. I guess it's a fine enough version. If this is what you had growing up on the Game Gear, like on the Game Gear itself, perfectly fine. I just don't know why you would be playing this version over the Genesis version if you have access to that nowadays. Because it's just the far superior version. Alright, next up, you know what, let's just get the other conversion one out of the way. Mean Bean Machine. Now, once again, this is another one that if you're gonna play this game, you play the Genesis version because it's just a more fleshed out version compared to this. If you had this back in the day on the Game Gear itself, it's perfectly fine. So I don't even remember if I even played this version before. I might have sampled it. I just remember nothing about those versions, so that tells me a lot. Nice. I hit the start so fast, all I got is a sound effect. So gear-to-gear mode is the multiplayer, which shouldn't work unless I'm in the 2-player mode. Exercise mode, you know, in case you're weak one day. Drop and give me 50. Alright, let's just go into the scenario. This is the story mode. Stage 1, arms, which that is kind of cut off at the bottom. That was more of a Game Gear thing, as we can tell. But yeah, I think this is a better conversion than the conversion for Sonic Spinball. Don't get me wrong on that one. Again, I don't know why you play this version nowadays. I really don't. Because you just played the Genesis version. It's flat out. And the Genesis version has been released like multiple times nowadays, so it's not hard to get a hold of. I want to get these things more lined up for combos. Like, I'm not the best at like Poyo. I have like a general idea how to do some of the combo stuff. It's like this, for example. There you go. They got me some more points. And I gave that opponent. Ooh, yeah, there you go. Get wrecked. Oh, I'm getting wrecked too. Not as bad though. Like, this is easy to come back from. The music definitely is not as good as the Genesis version here, but that's kind of expected. It's going to get crunched down to 8-bit format, so it's not going to sound as clean. Oh, you blocked my shot. I was going to go there. Fine, I can do that. Get wrecked. I'm getting all these reds right now. I don't want any of the red. It's not gonna help. I'm gonna give myself another minute, then we're gonna move on. I'm more or less just trying to see what kind of high score we can get here before I call it for this game. We're doing pretty okay, to be fair. Again, I'm not the best at these kind of games. There's some people that can just rock house with these, like, kind of puzzle games. It's insane. There you go, that's a high combo. Look at that. Yeah, there you go, get wrecked. Actually, we might be beating him at this rate, because that's going to be another wave of junk parts. Yeah, he's going to have a harder time making combos. It really doesn't change much for me, if you want to be honest here. I could just do this and immediately get rid of some of your junk. No, I didn't want to actually go that way now thinking about it. That was a bad move. It's alright. I can recover. There you go. It's gonna be a triple. You know, that was also kind of stupid. I can recover from it, though. Yeah, here we go. I can just recover with this. I might actually be winning here. That's why I'm like, oh, I should have actually quit a while ago. But this rate, I'm just kind of at the end of the puzzle anyways. I got nothing on my side. That's the only problem. So it's gonna be hard to build up combos fast. Yeah, I'm gonna put this here because I don't want to activate the reds yet. I'll do it now, I guess, because that's more points with the 5 incomplete. Put this here. Put this there. Now I can put you on top. That was the wrong spot, but that's fine. Kinda worked. I'm actually just kind of getting into playing a puzzle game, because I haven't played a puzzle game like this in a while. I'm actually going to call it with that, because I will be here for a long time if I'm playing this. I got a lot more, like 3,000 more points than my opponent. So that's good. I'll call it with that on the puzzle. Because again, I will play Mean Bean Machine all day if it gave me the chance. I'm not going to do that, because we got other games to play here. Alright, next up was Sonic Triple Trouble. Who was hired at Sega to eat their microphone back in the 90s? I swear, that bit crunch is so bad on the Sega. Had a horrible conversion over. It really did. Alright, so this game introduced Knuckles to the Game Gear lineup. I can't remember, was this? I think this was only on Game Gear. I think this is when they stopped making the games on the Master System. I can't remember all the games that are on Master System that were also Game Gear titles. It's hard to remember. Sonic or Tails? I'm gonna pick Sonic. It is his game after all. The Great Turquoise, but I like how it's capitalized, the G and the T standing out, so it's just GT. Sonic even went to the GT universe. Did he also get retconned by Super? Yuck, yuck. Out of the Game Gear titles, though, I think this was the one I played the most growing up. Just remembering what level aesthetics there are in this game, I remember a little bit more about this than any other Game Gear titles. It's not a 16-bit version. Bait and switch. What if there was a 16-bit version? No. Actually, no, there might be. Now thinking about it, one of these Game Gear games were being converted into a Sonic Mania mod. I can't remember if it was Sonic Chaos or Triple Trouble. I think it's Sonic Chaos that was being converted. And I think it's still a work in progress. I can look it up here after this stage, because I'm not 100% sure which one it was. Okay, Triple Trouble was released as a 16-bit style fan game, and Chaos was the Mania conversion. Okay, thanks for confirming, because I'm trying to look up where I saw that. It's been like a couple of years I've seen it, so I couldn't remember. Because that's been like a work in progress, the Mania mod, for a while at this point. It's hard to say exactly when they'll be done, just because, you know, it's a fan project at the end of the day. So, stuff like that doesn't take the highest of priorities. There's other projects people gotta work on, which is very fair. Dude, I just want to go right. I just want to go right! These trap springs, man, I swear. Oh, I forgot, you can also bounce off the water in this version, which was a newer thing for these games. Sonic Advance 2 would take that a step further and let you just run on the water. Man, the momentum on this for going through loops are just really odd. Because you slow down pretty drastically. What was that down there? What's the power up that I couldn't even get to? I had to go to a lower path, I guess. I beat it fast enough, because that's how I got the flicky. I mean, never continue if I had to imagine. Oh, okay. Got the GT. Okay, so I also was thinking that correctly. Triple Trouble it never got a Master System version. So this is when they were starting just making the games exclusively on Game Gear. Which, to be fair, the Master System got support for way longer than Sega, I think, ever planned on supporting it. It just, the console was really successful in Brazil and continued to be successful for years because of how the video game market was over there specifically. So that's why they supported the thing for many, many years. And after a while, even they had to say, yeah, we're gonna have to stop supporting this thing because we need to get a move on. Like, it's all of our time and development costs going into the system that it's many, many years old at this point of us still working on it. We kind of need to stop. There's a couple systems that have had that kind of treatment. The NES, Master System, PlayStation 2, the Wii. Like, a lot of systems outlasted their original runtimes by, like, a huge margin when you think about it. Although the Wii is kind of like an asterisk because they continued support with that because of the Wii U specifically. By support, I mean they're still printing games because people can play them on the Wii U, but they stopped making physical Wiis. Like, what was it, like 2014, 2015, something like that? Like, they stopped for like a while on that one. I have no rings for this, and you have to hit the button almost instantaneously because of how fast you hit the boss. Because you can hit the button while in the air and you go in your ball form, and that's how you have to fight this guy. It's kind of annoying. Yeah, I can see a Sonic Advance trilogy port coming to NSL at some point. Sonic Advance 1 was on the European eShop for the Wii U. So I can see us possibly getting the Sonic Advance games because of that. Like, Sega's already re-released that game at least once. So I was like, possible. They work with Nintendo to re-release the other games. What? I hit the boss as he hit me. That's stupid. Didn't know you can do that. If they work with Sega, that's what I'm trying to say. Nintendo works with Sega for the Sonic Advance trilogy. I think it's very possible that they can just get that on the system. I don't see why not. Oh, there's some rings. Hang on. I'm not doing this again. Ring me. Like, we have some of the Sonic games on the Genesis collection at this point. I think one of those attempts I was one hit away too, which really sucks. Thanks, Knuckles. You set the forest on fire. How do you feel, monster? Alright, Sunset Park. Was this the one I was thinking of earlier? Stage theming. Oh yeah, this is it. This is the stage I was thinking of. So I played at least up to this level. But I don't think I was able to beat the boss growing up, so I just didn't get any further in this zone. Alright, so next up on our list, we did Sonic Drift 2. So, Tails Skypatrol. This was originally a game. Hang on, actually, what did that say? Because I'm skipping through these. I don't really need to read the description for most of these, but this one's interesting. This was originally released only in Japan and only on Game Gear. But since then, it has gotten re-released. Tails Skypatrol, I believe, was on the 3DS eShop. So, we've gotten this game outside of Japan. We've also got it, I think, from the Sonic Adventure DX collection. Like, it was on that game as an unlockable. Why is this so loud? Why is like every game's volume like on a roller coaster spectrum? Like, seriously. I read that as Sims and Jish for a second. Like, Josh but abbreviated, but definitely ain't that. It's just abbreviation in a different way. So this is a very different game. So you fly around the whole time with Tails, and you have this ring that you can grab things. Or interact like that and fail horribly. If you hit the ground, you die instantly. So it can be really hard to control. Tails Skypatrol is not an easy game when it comes to trying to play it because it is very interesting to say the least. I don't think this is a game I really stuck with all that much when I sampled it back in the day because, again, the controls in this are very weird and it takes some time to get used to. I think one of the Tails Game Gear games went on Gems collection. I think you're right. I have the Mega Collection Plus on the Xbox, and I think that has some of these games on it. Can't remember all the games on there because there were some that weren't included. That's the whole reason why I bought Mega Collection Plus on Xbox, is just so I can have some of the extra games I didn't own already. But Gems Collection also was another good collection for certain games. That was mainly how you played Sonic CD. I don't believe that had any Game Gear stuff. Oh, okay, that's some like, hey, react right now moments. The problem with this game is you touch anything at all that's not Sky and you just instantly die. So this is why I remember playing back in the day and like, I don't know about this one. Turned it right off. Like, that's exactly how I said it. Squeaky voice and all. Oh, I missed the ring checkpoint thing. You have to let go of the minecart by just pressing the ring button again. Oh! I'm gonna move on with that because I just wanted to at least show these games. I don't really care for Tails Skypatrol that much, just me personally, but it's a game I gotta play a little bit more and get used to. Alright, Tails Adventure is next, which I believe this was supposed to be like a sequel to Skypatrol. I don't know in story, but definitely in terms of releases, came after Tails Skypatrol. Someone got paid really good to sound crunch that. Oh my gosh. No title screen in this, just Tails' house. Which takes you to the title screen. The famous title screen, Tails' house. That leads you to the real video game of Tails Adventure. Alright, talk about a weird way of going to your title screen. Oh, this is one of those games. Continue to just write down a massive list of passwords. And Mega Plus on PS2, but now it's sold, so you have Mega on GameCube to make up for it. I mean, that still works, to be fair. Like, all you're really missing at that point are the Game Gear games, which you don't really need, especially if you have Sonic Adventure DX. Then you're probably better off playing with that for all these Game Gear games anyways. Because nowadays, it's kind of like the big thing a lot of people have recommended. It's just get that GameCube title, because it's just the one that gives you all the Game Gear games, then you just get Mega Collection to fill up the rest for all your Genesis needs. At least in the retro scene. Nowadays, you just buy most of these games on like a 1 in a billion collection. This is also a very weird game, too. Like, Tails' bombs. I didn't know we were playing Bomberman all of a sudden, but here we are. Put this rock here. Very inconvenient rock. Because you can't run this, you just like casually walk. I don't know where Tails' speed went in between games, because he definitely doesn't have it here. Climbs really slow too. It's a very different game. This is more supposed to be like a hardcore platformer than just a speed platformer. Just strictly platforming on this with some attacking of bombs. Metroidvania, like, kind of. Yeah, aren't there supposed to be, like, more alternate routes for this that could lead to some extra stuff? Like, I don't know, I haven't really played this one. Like, I sampled it again, like, back in the day. That's about it. I remember nothing about Tails Skypatrol. Except the meme of how Tails is just a cold-blooded murderer in this game. You have traditional health in this, though, because of how the rings work. You lose 1 ring every time you get hit, so you don't just instantly die after 1 hit. Because of how you can just, get more back and, like, increase your health. You don't just have to get your ring back and have infinite health. So, in some ways, it's easier, some ways, it's harder to build up your health in this. Some people didn't like the idea back in the day of how the ring mechanic worked in Sonic, so this is more of like a traditional health bar. And it might work better with this kind of a game, to be fair. I never understood the idea of how Sonic drops all 999 of his rings if he gets hit by 1 tiny thing. I like how other games handle, like Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic Frontiers, where if you get hit, you don't lose your whole life savings. You actually can keep some of your rings. Oh, Chaos Emerald and the letter R. Trying to see if we can at least get to a boss, because I want to see how a boss works in this. It sounds like a boss stage. Just gonna strut my way in. Here comes that power strut. Yo, what up? I'm gonna bomb you. I don't even know if I'm doing damage. I think I did. Yeah, he definitely exploded, so I did something. When you hear that clang sound, it doesn't sound like you're actually hurting the guy. Remote robot. This is one of your powers, too, because this game you get abilities. So you can have other attacks later on, too. It's a very unique game. Like, no other Sonic game really plays the same. So it's very interesting. This one is a good time. Probably end up playing more of this on my own time, because I'm liking it so far. Alright, next up, I believe we only have a handful of games left. Yeah, only 2 more. Sonic Labyrinth! The game everyone said, oh, that sucks. This was considered for years to be one of the worst, if not the worst, Sonic title. It's in that list of never play games in a lot of Sonic fans' eyes. It's just very different, to say the least. And there's an interesting story with the game, too, because Sonic is asleep at his house, and then Eggman sneaks in to replace Sonic's shoes with his own custom-made shoes that make him way slower. So you have to unpack that. Wait a minute. 1, Sonic has a house. 2, Eggman saw Sonic's feet. He did indeed show feet. And number 3, Sonic didn't have a backup pair of shoes. But to be fair, I believe, like, story reasons, like, he just can't get the shoes off. That's what's going on. It's just a very interesting story setup for the game. It's just Eggman just puts on new shoes just to screw him over. He doesn't think of locking him up or anything. No, he just replaces his footwear. The best way you move in this game is spin dashing, because the shoes didn't break your spin dash. Although I am noticing one thing with this emulator. They fixed the flashing lights thing, because look at the background. If you were playing the original Game Gear version, you would probably have to go to the hospital because of all the flashing lights. It was really, really bad. It was one of those effects that I believe gave people seizures, so they had to change it for emulation going forward, which was smart. Flashing lights in video games are one of the worst things. Don't do it. I played a decent amount of this game, I remember, on the Sonic Adventure DX like collection of games. Oh, there go my keys. I never beat this, but I did play a couple levels worth because I thought at least that the game's idea was very unique. So I wanted to at least see it through a little bit more to see if the game got any different, or maybe you did get some speed here and there, which you do actually, but it's really only in like certain areas. Blast is much worse. Yeah, I've also heard Sonic Blast is another game people argue not great design as well. Sonic Labyrinth's biggest problem is just you take the speed out of Sonic the Hedgehog, and then it's just like a really sluggish game. Trying to stop when you use a spin dash is just such a pain, too, because you have so much momentum. Like, honestly, I don't think this game is as bad as everyone makes it out to be. I think it's fine. It's very different. And I guess back in the day, that's why it was considered just not as good as it could have been, because it was just such a different experience that no one was really wanting to play. But once you just know the idea of just you pretty much spin dash everywhere, which fixed the whole like slow speed thing, then it's like a unique styled game. I'll say that much. Not the biggest fan of it myself, but I do think it is like enjoyable in certain areas. I believe this is where you speed up, right? No, next stage, okay. I want to at least get to that part. I think there's a level select for this, technically. I'm just not gonna bother right now. Look, Ma, actual speed. In my Sonic game? I know, it's weird, right? Said it couldn't be done. Sonic does indeed. Pacefully walk. At least the nice thing about this game is you don't actually have a health meter to worry about in these stages, because you drop the keys, you just gotta get them back, that's it. It's not really that big of a problem. Yeah, no way you would have really known that was there until you killed the enemy, so not the most telegraph thing. I guess the game actually does track your speed when the biggest gimmick of the game is you don't speed at all. It's very ironic. Here we go, this is the speed section. This is how you speed up in the game. You're just going down this big old slope, and you're spin dashing down. This is how you go fast. So see, there is speed in Sonic Labyrinth. It's just you gotta get to those very specific parts. This is kind of like a bonus stage more than anything else. Under rings, get your life. Ow, my face. And that's how you get to the boss fight. They give you like a special stage styled level to go through before the boss, which is very unique. Can't think of any other Sonic game that does that. And this is where you need rings. Gonna bounce all over the place, because that'll pretty much do the most to this said boss. Especially right here. This is like the sweet spot. Because I just bounce back and forth in one specific area. Although now he moved. Oh no, my rings. Not really any sound effect for getting hit, so it's a very mute hit. And that's it. Hang on, excuse me, I gotta go walk. Now do that a couple more times, get all the emeralds, beat up Eggman, and get your shoes back. That's the video game. Again, I think this is a unique game. I won't say it's great. I don't think it's as bad as everyone makes it out to be. It's just you gotta look past that glaring flaw of Sonic moves like molasses, unless you use the spin dash. Once you overlook that, it's not bad. Also, cannons. Who doesn't like a good cannon? Alright, one more Game Gear game. The last one we got here is Sonic Blast. This one you play as Sonic or Knuckles. And it's pre-rendered graphics. The idea for this was to destroy your hearing, but cut off the A at the end. Save you that last letter. Ow. The idea in this game was to have that same kind of art style that Sonic 3D Blast had on the Sega Genesis, because that was also pre-rendered. It was more or less like the style of the time everyone tried to go for to compete with Donkey Kong Country. So, a game like this, yeah, it was very similar to DKC's graphics, and a lot of people were kind of pushing for it at the time. Because I can think of a lot of games that look like this. Like Clayfire is another great example. Killer Instinct is another one. At least this one's not as bad with screen crunch, because it was made for the Game Gear in mind. So kind of like Triple Trouble, you can kind of see what's coming in front of you. But unfortunately, though, as was mentioned earlier in chat, that This game is also kind of seen as one of the weaker Sonic titles in the series. Like, it has some interesting design choices for its levels. It also feels pretty slow. Sonic does have a double jump in this, which is really weird. Knuckles can glide, so he has the standard attributes you're used to. But Sonic having a double jump, yeah, that's different. They didn't really have a double jump in the other classic Sonic games at this time period. The first game I'm thinking of where he had a double jump was Sonic Colors. And that was all the way in like 2010. That was years later. I do think the biggest problem with this though is that it still has screen crunch. Like, I feel like it wasn't as bad as Sonic 1 or 2, but that's because those games weren't designed with the screen crunch in mind, so you had a lot of enemies that just blindsided you. Not as bad here on the enemies, but definitely on the level design. There's a lot of... You're gonna jump in pit moments because of the camera here. This is why I always find it hard to go back to a lot of Game Boy and Game Gear games, because the screen crunch on so many games are just super bad by today's standards, and some games are like near unplayable because of it. Especially if they were a conversion game. Like, if you had a console version to the handheld version, 9 times out of 10, play the console version instead because of the screen crunch. And that went all the way through the GBA. There is an SMS downpour to blast. I wonder how that looks in comparison then. Like, I imagine I had to fix the screen crunch. But that is very interesting. ROM hack version of this game that can convert it to a Sega Master System release. That's very interesting, but yet very cool. This is an interesting boss to say the least. Like, what is this? Oh, you gotta hit him on the top. Well, that's would have been nice to know earlier. Hit him on the bottom does nothing, like, you know, it usually does. Got his glass. You know, that actually makes sense. It's just gameplay-wise. This is the first game that's made me do that this whole night. So it's very different for me. Hey, I think this is interesting. I never really played too much of this myself, so I can't really say its overall quality. Again, the screen crunch is pretty bad for level design. Like, there's a lot of stuff I won't see coming. Like, I can't even see anywhere below me here. Oh, good. There's a slope. Couldn't have seen that. So, that's the biggest problem I have with this one. But that is all of the Game Gear games. So, that's pretty much everything they added to Sonic Origins. Which, to be fair, most of the content does revolve around the new characters in the original games in the collection. But now, having Game Gear games, it technically gives you more value for your dollar. But I am curious about something. I need to hear this. How did they convert those games? We need to see that for ourselves. So I'm gonna load up Sonic Adventure, and we're gonna see something with that. But this is gonna take me a second, as I am very curious what they did with the sound conversion. And if I can't get the PC version to work here for whatever reason, we have the console version to fall back on, so we're okay on that front. I'm just trying to remember where I put my mod loader for this. I haven't used the mod loader actually for Sonic Adventure for a while. Here we go, mod manager. If it asks me for an update, I'm gonna ignore it because I don't have time. Yeah, ignore. Ignore updates. Alright, capture full screen window. I don't know how the volume's gonna be on this. That's like my one concern. Also, my controller's probably not gonna work right away too. I need to get me a different controller. Come on, Micro B is such a finicky connection. There you go. I gotta just turn this other controller now off. SMS Blast is very very slapdash since it was released in Brazil exclusively. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Sonic Blast was one of the few games on Master System that came out afterwards. Okay. I actually kind of forgot about that. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, I'm going to do us a favor. I'm just going to put the game down to like 20 dB in case this is going to blow our ears. I don't know how long this is going to be. I don't know if it's actually going to pick it up right away. Oh, no, it won't because... Oh, I know what's going to happen here. Yeah, all right, this is fine. You're not going to hear anything for a minute. I have to change over the audio device because I have this coming out of a different speaker. So you can't hear anything, but I will be fixing that. Sonic Adventure, output to this thing. There it is. It definitely didn't like that. Let's do that again here real quick. It doesn't work. I have a fallback.
Sega!
Eh, there you go. It worked. I just have to reset the game. There it is. Okay, so we're gonna load into Sonic Adventure really quick. I am playing a version that mods back in all of the Game Gear titles that were taken out. But the Game Gear titles were in the original PC release of Sonic Adventure DS, also on the GameCube version. So, let's go to Minigame Collection. Now let's listen to Sonic the Hedgehog 1 here real quick. Now, keep in mind though, the screen is not going to match up correctly. It's going to be very small, but that's fine. Oh wait, did they fix it? Oh, that's very quiet though. I'm going to have to actually turn that back up. Turn up 2 more. Yeah, they fixed it. When we streamed this like 3 years ago, the games were like the size of a pea. They fixed the scaling. Wow, I'm actually surprised. All right, let's listen. Oh yeah, there is definitely something weird with the Sonic Origins Plus emulator for the Game Gear games. All right, so let's break it down. Sound is weird, like the emulation on the sound. It sounds like they're putting in the same audio channel twice. So it sounds a little more echoed, if that makes sense. Like, it sounds like it's duplicated. Problem number 2 is the colors, because look at this. Look at my colors for this specific screen. It's a lot more vivid than I remember from the Sonic Origins emulator, where it looked a little more grayish, like it was like the wrong color format, a little more washed out. So, this is looking better. Alright, how do I leave? There we go, it was that button. How about the game we just finished playing before, Sonic Blast? That's still very loud, but not nearly as bad as the Origins version. The audio for those games are a little bit louder than I would have liked. Alright, so we pick Sonic just like last time. Yeah, there was a conversion issue. I'm noticing it now. This is sharper. The colors are more vivid. The sound sounds better because it just doesn't have that weird, like, filtered audio effect where it sounds doubled. So, yeah, the Game Gear emulation in Origins Plus is not the best. I think it's serviceable. I will put it that way. It's fine. If you don't notice these little minute things, then it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. And to be fair, Sonic Origins Plus just released. We're, like, at this time, it's just, like, shy of a week of the game being out. So, there are going to be things that they're probably going to patch. There you go. I'm looking for Sonic Labyrinth. I try not to talk on that screen because the games are much quieter than the actual menu. Yeah, I feel like they might be patching these emulators because this is looking a lot more vivid and it just in general sounds better to me. I do wonder though, I'm just curious about this for my sake. Does the Sonic Adventure DX version have the flashing lights problem though? Let's go get a power. Just any power will do. Please be sir, I'm getting a power. There we go. Yeah. And it's not as bad as the original Game Gear version, but yeah, I think it's a little bit better in Origins Plus, so I'll give them that. The flashing lights thing was toned down a little bit more. So I think I can conclude saying, yeah, the emulation on Origins Plus probably needs some work, but it's not the end of the world. I'll say that much. It's fine. It's serviceable. It is serviceable. I'm gonna go back in real quick, just as that comparison point, and then we're gonna end it with that for Sonic Origins, because we've looked at pretty much all the new stuff. But I am now hearing that sound thing that people were saying earlier in chat. It's like, I wasn't the only one thinking it sounded off. It definitely is off. Something about the emulation on it just didn't translate correctly. Yeah, and these colors aren't as vivid. And also, look at the background, too. It's gray. The gray background, that definitely does tell me there's an issue with the colors. So they used the wrong RGB color space, I would say, if that's the case. That's why it looks off to me. Yeah, there is a doubled audio effect going on. So, say, like, I put in 2 tracks of audio inside of OBS. Like my Spark the Electric Jester 2 stream I did a couple weeks back. Like that effect. It's kind of like that, except not as delayed as my Spark stream. That was a whole other mess. So I can hear like there is an audio double thing. The color spacing's wrong. It's in full range, which is getting crushed. And for those of you who don't understand color ranges, there's like 2 different color range signals you can output from a device. There's limited and full, and you want to set your stuff correctly. So say your Nintendo Switch, you're outputting to a screen that only accepts limited color range, like your TV. It can't accept anything past that. You set your Switch to limited, the colors look crisp and vibrant. If you set your Switch to the full though, and your TV is only going to accept that limited range, it's going to look a little more washed out, like how this game looks. Like when I go back to the title screen, the biggest thing you notice with it, besides Sega hurting your ears, it be that way. If you look at the background, it's gray, and it's really noticeable here because of my borders not filling the screen. So you have black space all around the borders. You had all that dead space. That's a color mishmash, and the reason that happens is because there's like, what is it, like 16 colors that are different between the 2 color ranges. So this is just not, like, it's not displaying the colors correctly because of that color mishmash. It's like missing a lot of those extra ones, and the colors just are not the same. That's why it looks washed out. That's an easy setting, by the way. That's an easy setting to change. I don't know how it works in emulation though, so I can't say on that one if it's a super easy fix. That's the unfortunate thing. That might be a thing a modder has to fix for Sonic Origins. Do not do that to me again. I don't want to hear Sega in my ears again. So, these are passable emulators. I can now see why people were complaining about this before Origins Plus released, because how? Just how are we releasing subpar Sonic collections 2 years in a row? Sonic Origins, when it first came out, had a lot of glitches. And just, in general, the devs themselves, headcanon flat out said, we were not happy with how Sonic 3 turned out because we were rushed. It caused bad blood. So, now we have the Game Gear games that are kind of, I wouldn't say poorly emulated, but they're not showing the best light. They have issues. And I hope they're patched out, because I would like to see more people experience these games. They're fine enough games. A lot of these are really fun on their own regards. So, I'm glad they're in this collection in some fashion. I just really do hope they fix it. I can even see the color mishmash on the screenshots. It's harder to see there. When I see some black around gray. Oops. So I don't know they'll fix colors. That's the one thing you just have to take or leave. But at least the sound. If they can fix the sound, then I think these are perfectly fine emulation ports. Like, they're not glitchy. You're not falling through floors. The games aren't running in double the speed or half the speed. Like, they run fine. And for an extra $10 in the collection now, because Sonic Origins by itself is $30. So if you wanted all the extra content of the 12 Game Gear games, a playable Amy, and a playable Knuckles in Sonic CD, then for an extra $10, I think this is well worth it. If you're buying Sonic Origins on its own, I recommend buying the physical version for the consoles because that is $40. Same as the digital one, and you get an art book. So you get it physically, and you get an extra art book for the exact same price. So it's a no-brainer. The only downside to that is that's only on console. You can't get it on PC. If you want an art book and a PC copy, that ain't happening. You gotta buy a console release for it. Also, this version now has extra characters in the background, like Amy and Knuckles have been added to the background, so that's nice. And these are definitely their Sonic Generation models, I can clearly tell. But if you haven't owned Sonic Origins before this point, especially if you didn't have any of the digital deluxe stuff, then the Origins Plus upgrade is really worth it. And if you don't own it outright, like I said, just getting Origins Plus at this point is recommended. Just to get more content for the price, it makes sense. If you were original Sonic Origins owner, though, from last year, you get screwed. You really do, because I get not having it as a free upgrade. But because they lumped in the DLC from the Digital Deluxe version into the Origins Plus thing, when I went to go buy this on Steam, Steam warned me saying I will not be getting this thing and that thing, and it was the stuff from the Digital Deluxe version. So I spent $10 on 2 characters and 12 Game Gear games, excuse me. I feel like there should have been like a $5 discount. The Digital Deluxe was $5. So for people who owned it already, why couldn't you just give us a discount of $5, Sega? Other games with upgrades do that, so why can't yours? I don't know. I think marketing on Sonic Origins since the start has been kind of a mess. But the game itself is fine. I like it. And I think it's much better than what it was when it first came out. It's a solid collection, so. Yeah, I'm happy with the new content. It's fine. I'm just questioning certain things about the the Game Gear emulation. Don't know exactly what broke in translation, but again, I think it's fine and serviceable. And there you have it. That was my first impressions over Sonic Origins Plus. And I will say, to wrap this up, Sonic Origins Plus is a really strong package. You get a lot of Sonic games in this said package now with the addition of the Game Gear titles. And having all these different playable characters really does help strengthen this game's overall value. When Sonic Origins first came out, it was $40 on its own, or you can spend an extra $5 to get the digital deluxe version, which gave you some extra goodies into the game along with some extra missions, and then also you got some extra collectibles that you can view in the museum. But now, when we have Sonic Origins Plus released, the base game went from $40 down to $30, and Sonic Origins Plus gives you all the brand new content that we showed off in this video, along with all of the digital deluxe content in the same package. So if you have not picked up Sonic Origins just yet, now is as good of a time than any, as you can get the base game for cheaper, and if you want a complete collection, it costs $40, which was the same as when it came out 1 year ago. Although if you're like me and bought the game when it first came out, including the digital deluxe content, you unfortunately did get the game at a loss because the game released at $40. $45 if you bought the digital deluxe version. To upgrade the Sonic Origins Plus, you had to buy the DLC for its full $10 asking price. So I ended up paying a lot more for Sonic Origins than I really should have, if I want to be honest. Although, technically I did not because I bought Sonic Origins on a sale. So when I got it originally at launch, I didn't pay full price. If I paid full price at the time, I would have been a lot more upset. So as someone who bought the game originally, it was a harder sale for me to go to the Sonic Origins Plus. It really was. But for anyone else who hasn't gotten the game at all yet, I would recommend picking up Sonic Origins now, especially if you want to get a physical release, as there is a physical copy of Sonic Origins Plus out there. And in fact, I actually unboxed the physical release of Sonic Origins Plus here on this channel. If you want to go ahead and watch that unboxing video to see what all comes with the physical release of Sonic Origins Plus, I will link that video down in the description below. But overall, I will say I enjoyed my time with Sonic Origins Plus. I think the new playable Amy is a really interesting character, and I think her moveset is very fun in all these Sonic games, and I'm really looking forward to playing through more of these games as Amy and just getting to explore these levels with her. It's going to be a lot of fun. And also just seeing Knuckles and Sonic CD, it was a lot of fun to play as him. His glide makes a pretty big difference in a lot of those levels to really explore, and I'm really looking forward to seeing those new exclusive paths that the devs made in those levels just for Knuckles. So I think the characters alone are a great reason to pick up Sonic Origins Plus if you own the original game. But the Game Gear titles, on the other hand, I will say are a lot of fun. I do think they are a worthwhile piece to the Scythe collection, especially now boosting up the amount of games in the collection. But as I was stating at the end of my first impressions section of the video, there are some emulation quirks with these said games. For starters, your borders, they don't fill the whole screen at all, so you get a lot of dead space on your screen, so that could be a little distracting. I would actually recommend for the Game Gear games just playing without any of the borders on. That way, you would just have black space around the Game Gear game, making it a lot more just easier to understand things, not have a distracting screen, and just be able to focus on the game more, in my opinion. Also, other things about it where the color accuracy of these said Game Gear games, it's a little bit washed out, especially when we compared Sonic Adventure DX's versions of those same Game Gear games running side by side. We did see that there was definitely some kind of color difference between the Sonic Origins versions of these Game Gear games and the Sonic Adventure DX version of the games, along with some audio issues too. Mainly, it's just, for me, it sounds like the audio is kind of duplicated in my ears via Sonic Origins Plus, which is a little distracting. It's not the end of the world, but if you're playing with headphones, the game might sound a little bit weird to you, and to some people this might actually cause headaches. Not enough to me to say it's a problem, because it's not like the sound is actually delayed or anything. That would be unplayable. But the sound is a little off. I think something like this could be fixed with an update, and I hope Sonic Origins Plus does get an update to fix some of the concerns with the Game Gear emulation. But I think the games are perfectly serviceable, very playable. I understand a lot of the complaints people have now with the Game Gear titles in Sonic Origins Plus, outside of just the idea of the games we got in general. People are hoping for other titles like, say, Knuckles Chaotix that come to the collection, which I would have preferred myself, but I'm happy with the Game Gear games we got because they're solid games. But I do say that if we update the Game Gear stuff, it's perfectly fine. These games are very much playable, and if you're playing these without really focusing on the differences, doubly so if you're not comparing other releases of these Game Gear titles, they're fine. They are perfectly fine versions of all these Game Gear titles, and I'm perfectly happy with the collection as a whole, what we have. I can easily recommend Sonic Origins Plus now to any Sonic fan, because I think at $40, this game has so much content, and there's a lot of new stuff in here too, not just old stuff returning, but there's a lot of new content here that is really worth your time. But with that said, that's going to do it for this video. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this first look at Sonic Origins Plus, or at least my first look, my own first impressions. And with that said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.